Hello my lovelies. Have you ever struggled with helping your autistic young person cope with change and work out how to manage that process? Well, I have too. So I thought I'd share some thoughts I have with you. My name's Sarah Jane Critchley. I'm the author of A Different Joy, The Parent's Guide to Living Better with Autism, Dyslexia, ADHD and more. And today I wanted to talk to you about courage and change and how those two things interact and what they are and what they're not. So let's get to it. What brought this about and what got me thinking about this was that I was at a party yesterday because I had my hair cut, and thank you to all my lovely Facebook friends and followers who've said they'd like it, which is good. And I walked into a party. I was going there for a New Year's party, so Happy New Year's to all of you who are listening and watching in real time. And somebody said, "Oh, you were so brave to have your hair cut really short." It's quite a dramatic change for me. And I thought, that's not brave. To me, that's not, it's different, but hair grows back. And I know that hair grows back, and I know it's different, and that's okay. But for some people, clearly it's a big issue. And then that got me thinking about what courage is and what it's not. And about how much our autistic friends and some of us who are autistic really struggle with managing when things aren't the same, when they change. And I have heard people say and express the fact that sometimes you just have to be a bit braver in doing things like walking into a room where you don't know anybody, or facing a situation where you're uncertain. Well, I get where they're coming from in that, but that gives me a bit of an issue. And that gives me an issue for two reasons. It strikes me that I was thinking about when my girl was tiny, very little, she was probably about 7 I suppose, and we took her for a review by an educational psychologist for a full assessment. And one of the things that really struck me, that took me back, when he was giving his report, he said she was an incredibly brave learner. And I looked at him and thought, I don't quite know what you mean. And what he said was that because of the way she was trying to do things, the way she was trying to learn, the fact that she would make the attempt to spell something that was actually a very, very difficult word that she wouldn't necessarily have been expected to know, was actually really courageous and really brave. And I just thought, I hadn't really thought of that as being brave. And then as we get older, and as my children have got older, the thing that strikes me in terms of when I talk to my children, I talk to friends who are autistic, is how brave they are at facing things that actually cause them real stress, real anxiety and terror, fear on a regular basis. That takes huge courage. And I think we are seriously undervaluing the strength it takes to walk into that sort of difficult situation day after day, time after time. And if I think about some of our autistic children who are school refusing, they're not school refusing because they think, oh, I can't be bothered to go. And certainly in my daughter's case, she would have loved to have gone. She was distraught at not being able to get in, but it was that she was not able to get in. Not that she didn't want to, or that she wasn't brave enough to face it. She had just got to a point where she couldn't do it anymore, where her capacity to cope with it had drained to such a degree that she couldn't make it in anymore. And for all of those of you who are struggling to get your children in on a daily basis, I really salute you, and I salute your courage and their courage and bravery for doing that. And I've got some ideas for how we can actually start to build up our skills and how we can cope with things that change. Because one of our biggest challenges is coping with things that are not the same. So I've got a 5-point framework here for you for building change management skills. And as you learn to cope with things that are not the same and are not predictable more and more, you can build your capacity and your skill in dealing with those situations. So here's some ideas. The first one, and the most important one, is start from a point of safety. You cannot put yourself out there for doing something really incredibly brave if you have no idea. If someone's learning how to become a parachute I'm trying to think, parachute soldier, what's the word for them? Paratrooper, for example. They don't just chuck them out of the out of the aeroplane without any training, without any idea of what's going to happen, without any idea of what the safety procedures are. They are given lots and lots of training and practice to be able to do that. And you have to start from somewhere where you feel safe. Now, probably throwing yourself out of an aeroplane isn't a good example, but for some people that is an amazing thing to do. I can't think of anything worse personally, but you know, we all have our thing. And one of the things that I've learnt in preparing my daughter for university is that we have to start from somewhere she feels safe. So it's around building the experiences and the things that will make that into a safe place for her. So start from a point of safety. And that's from whatever is safe for them, not what your assumptions might be, so you might have to check. The second thing is take small steps when you have the capacity to do that. There are times where you are not going to be able to try something brand new. There are times where you are not going to be able to cope with things that you often can. And it's about managing that capacity to do it. And if you overextend, it's going to get worse. So do it small steps when you have the strength and capacity to do that, and build that into the plan. The third thing is to integrate every single win into your identity. So I am someone who can is the sort of thing that you need to say to yourself at the end of the day. So what went well? Maybe I made a phone call that I was nervous about. So at the end of the day I'll say, I am someone who can pick up the phone and talk to somebody even when I don't feel comfortable. And that's a really good thing. So I am someone who can. The next thing is to layer on successes. So to go back and to look over those things. At the end of the week, what I do is I go back and I look over all the things that went well in the week. And that actually helps me to feel more confident, more capable. It's part of a regular journaling and review process. And you can use things like the Different Joy Journal, Different Joy Planner to help you to do that. But there are other journals that you can use. So that's an example. But layer on those successes so you become a successful person who can do that. And all of the autistic people that I know who are managing really well and functioning, it's because they have been able to build a success upon success upon success upon success. So there may be small things, but you're building them. Become someone who can. And the final thing is to practice often. So with any skill, it's kind of like building a muscle. Learning how to cope with change is like building a muscle. You have to start very gently and you have to build it on gradually, and you layer it on gently in different times, different places, but always start from within somebody's capacity. So don't push too hard, do it very gently, but keep building. I hope that's been really helpful for you. And I look forward to speaking to you soon. Just say you can download copies of A Different Joy from Amazon. You can buy a copy there, or you can go to my website differentjoy.com and find loads more to help you. I hope that's been good for you. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Lots of love. Bye.